Hi, good evening. You're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. I'm innocent, I have done nothing wrong. Remember these words. The last heard from Dipu Das, the 25-year-old youth mob lynched and burnt by a violent mob of Muslim radicals. His pleas for mercy falling on deaf ears. The shock and horror of it all is now viral. What's equally goading is that the very protectors of law and order became the perpetrators of this abominable, immoral act. Look at the way the Bangladesh police failed to fulfill their duty. They in fact handed Dipu over to these Islamic radicals. And so Dipu's killing over a false religious rumor, later found baseless, raises multiple concerns. That of wider fear, violence and migration driving the Hindu community and the minorities' decline in Bangladesh. The pan-India protests, including the ones outside the Bangladesh High Commission in New Delhi, are only understandable. But what has the interim government of Mohammad Yunus done so far about it? Made a few lame arrests apart from summoning the Indian envoy? We'll tell you why. The purpose is to dilute the particular barbarism of Das's killing. This by subsuming it within a generalized narrative of regional dysfunction, one in which all parties are equally culpable. Perhaps that's why the Yunus regime has demanded that Dipu's killing need not be seen in isolation. But remember that Hindus and minority lives in Bangladesh will not matter till we have politicians like Congress's Digvijay Singh and Rashid Alvi linking Bangladesh's atrocities with Muslims in India. Don't Hindu lives matter? Whether in Bangladesh, Kashmir or in any part of the world, be it in the US, UK or even Canada. And why must the killing of Hindus be justified by fear-mongering of the idea of Hindu nationalism as a threat to Indian democracy? Those are the questions we'll take with our guests in just a bit. But this is just one of the many cases. Hindus have been under threat in Bangladesh and concerns for their safety have only been mounting over the years. From 13.5% back in 1974 after the Liberation War, the Hindu population declined to 12.1% in 1981 and then to 9.3% in 2001. The population further dipped to 8.54% in 2011 and as of 2022, it stands at a meager 7.95%. What does it mean for the Hindus in Bangladesh? Remember, many of them have had to flee the country. And I'm joined in by one such person who's an actor, a Bangladeshi Hindu actor, Aruna Biswas, who's joining me on the broadcast here tonight on Brass Tacks. Thank you, Aruna ji, for joining in. I want your thoughts, first of all, on those shocking visuals that we moved. The crowd cheers on, and some have even filmed while his body was being hung and set on fire. You can see him in the video begging for his life, but the police that was meant to protect him have rather handed him over. The Yunus regime has stated that this incident can't be viewed in isolation. I'd like your thoughts.
As a mother, actually, it's really hard to say and really hard to explain that one boy, he's very young, they lynch to him and then burn him. And he has, I think he has, they say he said something about their prophets, Hazrat Muhammad or something like that, but he doesn't say anything else about, because he got the job and for the garments factory, he was the manager, I think. So they was mad and they were very brutally to kill him, beat him, and the lynching him, and then they fire him and burn him. Like, it's it can happen with any human being. How come it's possible? You know about last few months before, one guy who was they took from the grave and they beat him and they burned him, and he was a Muslim, you know. So I think I don't know, we are human being or we are animal. What we are doing actually, that is He's only minority. That is his problem. And obvious we are minority. That is the main problem, of course. But now is in Bangladesh, most of them are minority, who are support 1971. We are grateful to India who support us to 1971. Uh, Nowadays, I think uh, everybody is a minority who is not only Hindu, not only Christian or Buddhist, like Muslim people also very insecure. The teachers, who are freedom fighters, who believe in Bangladesh, who loves Bangladesh. Everybody is a minority in Bangladesh right now. The Dr. Yunus regime, who are like, our, I don't know, like I feel not to talk. I'm not feeling to talk really because of, as a
Why?
mother, I can take it because if I say something, everybody in the problem because we have lots of friends in there, relatives in there, everybody getting problem in there.
So you fear for your life, the lives of your loved ones, you fear for the life of your friends, your family?
Of course, of course, of course. As a human being, of course, and I'm artist. I believe everybody secure their life in their country or their place, but we are not. That is very unfortunate for us, So
So, since the fall of Sheikh Hasina, there's no way to deny the fear and insecurity that's currently gripping the minorities, particularly the Hindus in Bangladesh. Anti-Hindu religious activists who couldn't dominate much during the Hasina regime are now in strength under the Yunus regime. As a Bangladeshi Hindu actor, is there a message you would like to send to the government of India?
I was the first victim of the mobbing, like, who are, I said to the protect student for, can you throw the hot water? We have one Facebook account, like it was a WhatsApp group in the all artists. We are supporting to our Sheikh Hasina. We can tell before that they are not actually protesting for the good. We thought and we knew that that is actually for other thing. They're extremists. We can understand from the beginning. So that's why I was the first, because I'm Hindu and I'm the very popular artist in Bangladesh. My parents also very popular in our country, who are my mom and my dad, very like prominent opera theater, the jatra they call in Bangla, jatra. So they are very popular in Bangladesh. So they try to kill me. That's why I came to Canada at 6th of August, because still they are trying to write it down so many things, and who are with me, our artists, they are also their life threatening in their life in Bangladesh. They can say nothing. Some of them are arrested and they born sign not to say anything else about the government, so go and stay home, not to say any word. So we are artists, all are like, very shaky, very insecure, very scared. They're passing their life, they have a kids, they have a parents, they have no work,
Okay.
nothing in there in Bangladesh right now. So everybody very bad time passing.
So, Arunaji, you're the best person to tell me the plight of artists right now, whether it's journalists, the media houses, to cultural centers, Awami League offices, Mujibur Rahman's the liberation hero. All of this history of progressive Bangladesh has been completely wiped out. What's your assessment of this kind of Islamization of Bangladesh today?
Actually, the who are not agree with the India support to us 1971 war, like, we are separated from the Pakistan. So the Pakistani who believe in Pakistan still, their brother, their parents, they don't they don't want to stay very well in Bangladesh situation. We can do the secular country, the unity and coexistence. They don't believe in that. So they don't believe in Bangladeshi people, Bangla. They can speak Bengali. They can follow the culture, with the pure culture from the Bengali, Bengali culture, Pohela Boishak. So we can do the puja, we can do the Hindu, we can do the Eid festival together. We always did everybody same thing, so they don't believe in that. They believe in we have to be extremists. We have to go for extremist Muslims. That's why they are doing actually doing for that. And um, when Hasina Appa was with us, we at night like 2:30, 3 o'clock at midnight, still women are can right on the street. They can come from the work, they can go to the house or home. They were very freely their life, they lead their life, but still nobody, like not even the man can go out after 7 o'clock,
That's
evening
shocking.
7 o'clock. They don't want to stay out of house for the situation right now. They can kill, they can go home, they can rape, they can grab their money, they can grab their land, their property. And Hindu are always victim. Always Hindus are victim. And Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, always they are victim, because they think that is our land. They think their land, So that is the main thing. So that is always, I don't know. Now they start, and now 1 hour before I saw, one Hindu family, they closed the door and they burned their house.
That's another incident that you're talking about. Are you sure it's verified? Are you sure it is not a video that surfaced from last year, August?
No. It's right now, before 1 hour before I saw on the phone.
All right, so clearly these attacks are continuing while we await a formal official confirmation with regards to this attack that you're indicating. Do you think that the US currently is reeking of Western hypocrisy and double standards? No condemnation has come with regards to Dipu's killing, but they were very active in condemning Usman Hadi's killing.
You know what? PM, when PM was with us that time, like every moment they poked PM, this is not good, human rights and other, group. They always spoke to Sheikh Hasina, why you are doing this, why you are doing this. Now is Dipu was burned, but nobody can say nothing. Not even government people, they can go to his house and say, "No, we are with you." No, only DC, they send the DC to him. And I think the Dipu's wife, she got the job. That is their duty, they done. So that is the situation. America, European Union and other things, nobody can say nothing right now. So many things happen,
All
the
right.
burn, um, uh, and one thing is that, so many artists that time, they got so much money. Money is dollar. They got, so we are divided from other artists, and we are other artists.
Okay.
They got also money from the government. We had one company. This is called Hoichoi. They got their money. Other artists who are stand for the Yunus, they are also get the money from the government. Government means is Yunus government, So American deep state money, they got deep state money also. So many things happen. We can explain to you right now. Like I have been problem in
And
there.
perhaps that is what explains the US silence, which seems extremely strategic at this moment. But thank you so much, Arunaji, for joining in on Brass Tacks. Thoroughly appreciate your insights. Also sending prayers of strength and courage to you and all your loved ones in Bangladesh. With that, in fact, getting in some breaking inputs right now, India has summoned the Bangladesh High Commissioner Riaz Hamidullah. These are breaking inputs coming in. Remember, this will be the second time that India will be summoning the Bangladesh High Commissioner Riaz Hamidullah. It will be happening just hours after the Indian envoy to Bangladesh was summoned in Bangladesh. This was with regards to the law and order situation in India, which Bangladesh has objected to as far as the pro-Hindu protests that have taken place demanding justice for the killing of Dipu Chandra Das. And this has in fact happened just hours after Bangladesh summoned the Indian envoy. MOFA, as we are being told in Bangladesh, had then expressed their concerns at the current situation in India. Security lacks, and in fact, the Bangladesh diplomats their security as well. But we'll have to see what was the message that was conveyed over there. Remember, Dimash has already been issued by India's External Affairs Ministry. But let's quickly take the discussion forward. Let me introduce my guest. I'm joined in by Pinak Ranjan Chakrabarti, who's a former Indian ambassador to Bangladesh and former secretary at the Ministry of External Affairs. R.P. Singh, who's the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mahima Singh, who's a spokesperson for the Congress Party. I'm being told that Kailash Adhikari will also be joining in just a bit. But thank you so much, Ambassador, for coming on Brass Tacks. If I may begin with you, what do you make of the situation at the moment? It's like the pot calling the kettle black. You have the summoning of these envoys, but nothing concrete emerging, especially when it comes to justice for the killing of Dipu Chandra Das.
Well, the summoning of the High Commissioners is a routine diplomatic act.
Sure.
And somehow it seems that it's got into a tit-for-tat mode because the Bangladeshis they think that every time their High Commissioner is called, and they will call the Indian High Commissioner, and they have been calling the Indian High Commissioner in to make very demarches, as we call it, or to make protests, etc. The fact is that the law and order in Bangladesh has completely broken down. And let there be no mistake, it's a very, very organized breakdown that the Yunus government is hand in glove with the radical Islamists to make this happen. This is orchestrated violence. It's not isolated. It is orchestrated violence. And as far as the Hindus are concerned, they've always been at the receiving end of violence. Whenever there is upheaval, political or otherwise, in Bangladesh, the Hindus are the weakest, the target. They don't usually fight back. And hence they are always either killed, butchered, and their property is taken away. Today, the population is down to now 7.9%, I think.
Well, Ambassador, you'll agree that this has gone from bad to worse, especially in the last 1 year, since particularly August of 2024.
Absolutely. There is no debate on that. It's gone from bad to worse, and it might become even more worse, because what is happening today is a contest that is taking place, which is between two groups, one which wants election, the other which does not want election. Hence, those who don't want election, and these are the radical Islamists, some students, etc., who are, it's probably not correct to call them students, but activists, etc., who want the current regime to continue. And I think Professor Yunus is complicit in this because he wants to hang on to his chair. Although he keeps saying that there will be free and fair elections, etc. But I think it's quite a lot of rhetoric. My sense is that rhetoric and reality have diverged to such an extent that you can't believe the rhetoric, and the reality is quite different.
That's deeply vexing. In fact, I can also see Kailash Adhikari has joined in as well. But I want to come to Mahima first. Mahima, why is Congress Party behaving like the New York Times? What explains mainstreaming fringe elements like Hindu nationalism, linking that with, say, the killing of Hindus in Bangladesh? Is that expected out of leaders from India, whether it's Digvijay Singh or Mr. Alvi, at a time when India is needed to stand united? Mahima, that question's for you.
Jai Hind, Akanksha, can you
Jai
hear
Hind.
me?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I was very carefully listening to the esteemed ambassador on the panel, and I absolutely resonate with his words. And I would say, yes, we are not living in an isolated world. And indeed, to add to that, I would say you cannot live in a global village and then have your government antagonize the Bangladeshis. Every now and then you see the BJP government, Modi government, the BJP leaders go out on rally stages and antagonize Bangladeshis. Now, when you say Bangladeshis, a community as a country as a whole, and then expect them to stay absolutely
You
silent
seem to be
on it.
having a problem with your connection. I'm going to, in fact, request my team to look into that, but I want to quickly come to Mr. Singh on that note. Mr. Singh, are we witnessing this kind of persecution of the minorities that has been happening since 1971? We've shared the data of which since 1974. What explains what happened with Hindus back then in 1971 and 1974? All of that is your doing and Prime Minister Modi or say Amit Shah's doing whenever it comes to say delivering speeches with regards to Bangladeshi infiltrators?
Well, till recent, we had a very excellent relationship with the Bangladesh. Until unless there was a game plan, under a game plan, whole of the coup happened and all was happening, the radicalization and Islamist forces taking over the governance and putting up a person who is just representing I'm using a little harsh word, as a stooge, but not working as a full-fledged president also of the country. So, fact is, we all know that what's happening and why it's happening. But I'm shocked at even the Congress spokesperson. Even now, she is saying, no. We are antagonizing Bangladesh. We are against Bangladesh. We had excellent relationship with Bangladesh throughout. But she's speaking the same line which Mr. Digvijay Singh was speaking or Mr. Rashid Abhi is speaking. Now, they say there's a reaction to some action here. But let's talk about something happened in Australia recently. What was that reaction to? Was that reaction to some action by Australia? Or something happens in America on and off? Does it, and by the Islamist forces only? Or something happens in France? Or something happened in UK? Does this happen because of their reaction to some, there's some action, their action happens? When they can wear a bag of Palestine supporting Hamas.
I can see Mahima is back. Mahima, would you like to respond to that?
Can I make a small point and finish?
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, Priyanka Vada would wear a bag of Palestine. I love Palestine or support Palestine in support of Hamas. But not a word. She could have carried a bag that I love Hindus in Bangladesh. They won't do that because for them, everything is vote bank. They don't think beyond a vote bank. That's the problem.
We've lost thousands of minorities, Mahima, in Bangladesh since August of 2025. We are not saying so. The official figures state that. How can we even compare the situation in Bangladesh when it comes to the rampant arson, the vandalism, the attacks on temples with that of India? Mahima?
Akanksha, it's quite rich for the BJP spokesperson to speak the way he is speaking. The BJP, as I was saying earlier, how can you expect the BJP leaders to antagonize Bangladeshis every now and then on rally stages? I remember Mr. Hemanta Biswa Sarma in Jharkhand last year, don't you remember? And good, Akanksha, you reminded me of August 2025, because that's exactly when the Bangladesh, August 2024, and then, going on to 2025, you said mistakenly August 2025, and thankfully you reminded me of the Bangladeshi reminders of the India not heeding to their requests of extradition. Besides, Awami League opening its political party offices in Delhi and West Bengal. We do not know what did the government do about that. Rather, I remember Mr. Jaiswal from the External Affairs Ministry responding to that, very much going on record to say, well, we do not know if such activities are taking place. So this is a clueless government. This is a spineless government. And here they come and they speak, in such a rich manner, which is absolutely unbecoming and unacceptable, for a country like India, where foreign policy has been impeccable for decades, ever since independence was achieved. And now what you see is this spineless government weakening our foreign policy day by day, whether it is Bangladesh or Nepal or Sri Lanka. This is what we are seeing.
Fair enough.
And this is a clueless government.
That's a point that should be, in fact, I'd like to bring in Ambassador Chakraborty on that note. Ambassador Chakraborty, many a times the attack coming in from Bangladesh and our very own grand old party here is that why have we given refuge to Sheikh Hasina? Why has Awami League been entertained by India? There are a host of other possibilities that come to mind. One can also ask why was Dalai Lama, provided exile in India. But how do you respond to all of those allegations that perhaps India invited you because Sheikh Hasina is currently in exile in India?
Live.
First thing, I think your viewers should know that we did not invite her. It was her military which sought our support in bringing her over here because she would have been butchered by the mob. And it was the military which said, you have to leave. And they requested us, we need flight clearance. And said, because Hasina, we are bringing Hasina here to save her life. That is how it happened. That's the reality. And don't forget that Hasina lived in India after her father's assassination.
Yes, it's not the first.
It's not the first time, 1975 to 1981. So hence there is a history of us, India, with its large heart, giving refuge to all these people. You mentioned the Dalai Lama. There are many. There's a whole list of people who have come here. We even are host to, millions of illegal Bangladeshis and other Rohingyas and various people who come and take refuge. So
can we mix? Can we, Kailash, let me quickly bring you in on the point of the infiltrators that is also being raised right now. Can we roll the red carpet for the Rohingyas, many of whom, over a million, let me tell you, are part of the Arakan Rohingya army, which is currently being backed by Pakistan?
Akanksha, to start with this, what has happened in Bangladesh with Dipu is extremely horrific and barbaric. And I clearly recall Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma and the current government, the national as well as the government in Assam taking a very strong stand with regards to the illegal infiltration which is happening cross-border and especially from Bangladesh into Assam and into Bengal. And it's the weak West Bengal government which for its own political reasons is not talking about it, but the Assam government is. And also now taking action on the fact that in a allegedly Congress setup in an office in Assam, they were singing the Bangladeshi national anthem in showing their solidarity with Bangladesh. I mean, we know the kind of persecution of religious minorities which has happened in Bangladesh, or which is also happening. We have seen instances, and here we see that an entire Congress office and the officials there are singing the Bangladeshi national anthem. And I would like to bring a certain report here in front of you, Akanksha, which I was reading on this when this incident happened, is that the Bangladeshi Hindu, Buddhist and Christian, there's a community there which has recorded factually that there have been close to 2,442 cases of persecution of religious minorities and more than 150 temples which have been vandalized hardly in a period of 1 year. Right? It was from July 2024 till this particular August, if my memory serves me right. So we have been seeing the fact that after the political upheaval and the instability which has come into Bangladesh, this has really caught upon the sad state of affairs there. And the Indian government is definitely taking a very strong stand when it comes to protection of the religious minorities in Bangladesh. And it's time and again that the government has taken a stand and spoken about it.
Okay.
And of course, it's the duty of the Indian government, which it is discharging dutifully.
Mahima Singh, would you like to weigh in on that? What explains Rashid Alvi saying that both the governments are fundamental governments, whether in India or Bangladesh, and both of them are working against a particular community? Can we compare the kind of rampant violence that we are seeing in Bangladesh with India? Kailash has just now put out those figures for you for a better understanding, perhaps.
You see, Akanksha, what happens in Bangladesh, is secondary to what has been happening in India for the past 3 years in Manipur. A government which is indifferent, in addition to being clueless and spineless, as I said earlier. An indifferent government such as the Modi government is absolutely indifferent to what's happening in their own country. So, what could have one expected of them to, in terms of what's happening in the neighborhood? That's another story. That's another question. But the immediate question at hand that you have asked me is, yes, this is an irresponsible, lackadaisical conduct on both the fundamental governments. Mr. Alvi is right in saying that yes, it is indeed the government's responsibility, whether it is in India, whether it is in Bangladesh, and both the governments are failing its people. So the Indian government must answer quintessential questions pertaining.
RP Singh, would you like to respond to that? Would you like to respond to that? Has the government done enough for not just the people of Manipur? What about the Hindus? There were lofty promises made when it came to the CAA or the NRC. What happens now to these very Hindu minorities getting persecuted in our own neighboring nation? Many are asking, why aren't we doing enough to save them?
Well, Akansha, the Congress spokesperson is saying that conditions are similar to Bangladesh in India. And so is Mr. Alvi and so is Mr. Digvijay Singh. And she is reiterating the same. I mean, shocking that their spine has turned into a Muslim spine. Today, the leaders claim that they are a Muslim party and she is doing the same line. I never intervened, madam. Did I intervene? Please, don't do that. Stop heckling.
You do at your own convenience.
Please,
let's be respectful of our co-panelists.
What is happening in Manipur? Let him speak on that.
So you've mentioned Manipur. He heard that.
So a party which claims themselves to be a Muslim party, and then the leaders who claim themselves to be a Muslim party, Mr. Reddy recently said that we are a party for Muslims. I mean, what do you expect from the party on this line? I mean, also, they were the one who was against CA. I remember Mr. Sonia Gandhi from the rampart of the Ramlila Maidan. She said, "Aar paar ki ladai ladenge CA ko lekar." That's the attitude. Now, Hindus being prosecuted, again they are saying the same. That since the Muslims have been prosecuted here, the Hindus will prosecute there. I mean, you're trying to placate Muslim vote here again by doing this, by making such statements. But that's how Congress is. Right from 1947, when the partition happened, right at 1980.
Mahima, I'll give you time for a rebuttal. Mahima, be respectful of others' times. I'll come to you. Please give him time. Give the gentleman time.
1947
I will come to you, Mahima.
I'm being as respectful as they are oftentimes, Akanksha, please.
No, Mahima, I will come to you. I'm assuring you. Believe in my assurance. RP Singh.
1947, when partition happened, they went with Jinnah's theory of partition. And what we suffered, the worst suffered were the Punjabis from Punjab and people from Bangladesh, West Bengal. Also, what happened in Kashmir in 89, 87, because of them, the Hindus migrated from Kashmir to the rest of the country. More than 5 lakh, there was a genocide happening in Kashmir. And now they are uttering something like that, oh, Muslims have been prosecuted here. When they never uttered a word when Hindus are being prosecuted in any part of the world. But they will support Hamas, they will support Palestine. I mean, they have a right to do that. But at least utter a word for Hindus. Utter a word for Bangladeshi Hindus.
Before I let Mahima take a rebuttal on that, Kailash, I also want you to weigh in. Are Hindus not as united? When you look at the Jews, look what happened in the Bondi Beach shooting and all of Jews across the world. I have spoken to voices from US, from Canada, from even in Israel. All of them stood in unity when it was an attack on the Jews in Australia. Look at how Black Lives Matter movement It completely unsettled the United States, so much so, robbed Donald Trump of a second term earlier. So when it comes to Hindus, why do we fail?
Akanksha, a couple of reasons for that. Prior to 2014, Hindus were never. You see, Hindu, as Mr. Ambassador said, they are a very soft target. A. B. Hindus, as a particular community, they are not much into violence or they do not like violence. But yes, having said that, whenever there is violence against the Hindus, in the last 11 years, they have understood that they have a right. They are the majority, especially in this particular country, and they do have a power to resonate with, to talk about. At the same time, they respect all the other religions as well as the religious minorities. And now it is time for Hindus also, wherever Hindus are in a minority, in other nations, and when there is such kind of, we see such barbaric and horrific cases of persecution against religious minorities, especially Hindus, since they are considered as a soft target, Hindus do wake up. Yes, I would say that about 11 to 12 years ago, we were not so united because I think it was Hindus which were discriminated close to about 12 years ago, and I say this with experience as well as with authority. But now the times have changed, Akanksha.
Okay.
Even I think the Hindu within the Hindus has also got a voice to speak,
Okay.
and they have understood that while respecting other religions, it is not shameful or it is not bad to speak about yourself, to speak about your
Sure.
religion, and to say it with all humility that yes, we are the majority, but at the same time we will respect minority.
All right.
But not being discriminated against.
All right, I have to give quick closing thoughts to Mahima and Ambassador Chakrabarti as well. Mahima, please go ahead.
Akanksha, I'm quite appalled at your question. Are Hindus not united enough? Because Manipur has been happening for 3 years. Have you asked a question? Are Christians not united enough? Because 300 churches were
We've
Manipur.
done that. We've
Is the
raised
debate
that
on
question.
Manipur or
But
is
today,
not
when
the
let's not
prosecution
veer
in
away from the
Bangladesh
topic,
and Congress
Mahima.
supporting
Let's
it?
not veer away from the topic.
Please share that
I
video
will.
with me.
I will.
No, Akanksha.
When Manipur happened, we were
we have
on
seen where this
Manipur. It was
country
a
has
blanket
been. Hold
rolling
on.
coverage.
Hold
You're
on,
not
hold on,
talking about
Akanksha.
2025 right now.
Akanksha, you speaking over me is not really going
No, but
to
you
justify.
cannot accuse us and make false allegations.
No, please share that video because I challenge you. None of the TV channels have ever questioned, are Christians united? The question that you have put up today is so futile in its content and
Come
its
on,
character.
she is making it a
I must
Christian
say
issue.
today,
They want to divide the
look,
country on another issue.
this is the
Come on, this is such a
expected
shameful
number over here.
thing. She's talking
Alright.
wrong. You must be
This is
ashamed of yourself.
exactly the
Congress
kind
party
of
is
shame
now
that we
trying
were
to
talking
make Manipur
about.
issue as a Christian issue.
All right.
Modi government and target
Shocking.
Bangladeshis all the time. And Himanta
All right.
saying that Assam will turn into Bangladesh, mini Bangladesh. What do they mean when Himanta Biswa Sarma says Assam will be turned to mini Bangladesh if Congress comes? What does he mean? Then what is happening between Bangladesh and India today? Whose fault is this when BJP leaders speak like that, Akanksha? And this is what I meant when I said earlier, I'll confer the same amount of respect on the BJP spokesperson as he confers
you
upon
are trying to
Okay,
make
I've given you ample
Christian
time
issue.
to speak. I hope you are happy with your response. It's in fact only going on to cement and substantiate the point that we were making. Nonetheless, the idea is to bring out a wider sort of introspection on this show, which is why Ambassador Chakrabarti, much needed thoughts from you over here. The UN Human Rights Commissioner has remained mum. You also heard that statement come in from Mohammed Yunus, where surprisingly enough, the US ambassador to India designate, Sergio Gore, has not really condemned the killing of Dipu Das, but he really made it a point to reach out to Mohammed Yunus, also entertain those false allegations that much of it is being amplified by the Sheikh Hasina regime in Bangladesh right now.
Well, let me tell you that from my experience, human rights is also used as a political tool. We faced it in our time when I was in government, and we dealt with it. So human rights, activists, etc., work in tandem with the Western governments to put pressure. They use all tools at their disposal, which is okay from their point of view. But we must understand why they are using it. We also came under human rights pressure when we were in the early 90s, and I know attended many meetings where the Americans would lecture us and give sermons on human rights. Anyway, that's in the past. Now the problem is that you cannot conflate domestic issues and problems that we have with our ties with Bangladesh. I think that's not a very good prism to look at our ties. We have a long history with Bangladesh. Don't forget that. Whatever has happened, and the CM of Assam was, of course, making a political point. But let's get rid of the political rhetoric and the party politics, etc.
Okay.
But the fact is, let us look at the facts of demographic change.
Yes.
That has happened. That has happened. You cannot just close your eyes to it. It has happened because of, I suppose, mistakes our governments have made over many, many years, not just the last decade, but over several decades.
All right.
Ever since when we were partitioned.
We'll let the facts do the talking. Thank you, Ambassador, for putting all of that.